Everyone, and welcome to the program Business Points, where we discuss business. My name is Samuel Odi, and many thanks for joining me at this time. And today, starting on from the home front, obviously, where we have smiles on our face, where the naira rebound against the dollar, which is just something very little, but it's also pointing to a good start, where the naira rebound and appreciated by 0.6% as at today. And then we are also hoping to see that the appreciation of naira against the dollar tends to go higher, and then maybe we are hoping to see around 1 to 2.0% of an increment before the close of business today. And on today's edition of the program, Business Points, will be explained basically the aspect of stock exchange locally in Nigeria here, and as well as Europe, Asia, and as well we'll be majoring on the two cryptocurrencies which have actually bettered a whole lot of digital currencies that are currently in the market now, and we'll just take it slowly one at a time as we begin from the home front, and then we'll be starting with Nigerian naira rebounding against against dollar rather, with 0.6%. So now dollar is roughly around 1,617 naira thereabout as we speak at this time. But let's take a quick stop in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, where we'll be looking at the major index of the major stock market in the Nigerian industry. In the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the Nigerian Stock Exchange Index is a major stock market index which tracks the performance of all stocks listed on Nigerian Stock Exchange. The main stock market index in Nigeria increased by 22809 points, or the average pointer is at 30.50 since the beginning of 2024. So that has been early hours of the first 2 months of this year. That was in the month of February. We were able to hit this mark, and then since then it's just been a bullish and then a bearish sign in the Nigerian stock exchange market. So according to the trading on the contract for difference that tracks the benchmark index from Nigeria, the current value all shares index is currently at 97,582 points. So that is the current now, because we are suffering a bit of a bearish side in those aspects, and then we are expecting to see it take up to a bullish sign before the close of work today. And then the change now in the Nigerian Stock Exchange all shares index has decreased by 163.32 points, or minus 0.17% from the previous day. Year to date change, the Nigerian Stock Exchange all shares index has increased by 49.35% since the beginning of the year. Historical high, the NSE all share index reached the all-time high of 106,087.84 points in February. That was the highest mark Nigerian Stock Exchange market has been able to hit this year. Forecasting now. So now we're looking at what would be happening, because we're coming from the results we've had from February up to this time. That's looking at the first and the second quarter of business of the year 2024. So it's been a bullish and then a bearish sign. So we are hoping to see a significant increase or a bullish sign when it comes to the forecast. Now, looking at the forecast, the Nigerian Stock Exchange share index is expected to trade at 9,063.29 points by the end of the quarter, according to the Trading Economic Global Micro Model Analysis expectations. So with these expectations now, we are expected to see that, okay, the decline that we found or that we witnessed during the early months of May and June shouldn't be what we should be expecting as the year unfolds, because we are hoping to see that we would see and witness a little bit of a bearish sign as the month goes by. So that is that on the angle of the stock exchange. And then looking at the statistics now, historically, the Nigerian stock markets reached an all-time high of 106,800.84 in the month of February. Nigerian Stock Exchange data forecast historical chart was last updated in August 6th. So it was updated this morning that's the highest mark that the historical chart of the Nigerian Stock Exchange data has gotten to. So we are hoping to see that, okay, as the month unfolds, which lots of businesses are rebounding and the naira also rebounding against the dollar, we are hoping to see that the stock exchange market is actually going to, envelop more, and then we would see more. Then the top earners now and those leading the pack in terms of Nigerian Stock Exchange, we have Dangote Cement, which is leading, and then we have Bua Cement, which is also following in the second place, and then we have Spectra, which is also following at the top. So these are the top three leading Nigerian, then followed by Stanbic IBTC Bank, Zenith Bank, and then Transcorp Hill Hotels as well. So now we'll be going on a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll be diving into the major cryptocurrencies and then how they've been rebounding, because from the weekend all through, the Bitcoin and Ethereum so far it lost and then it declined. So we are hoping to see, but as at this morning, the results is actually different. But before we get into that, we'll be going on a quick break, and then when we come back, Business Point continues. Please stay with us. Yes, many thanks for staying with us. If you just joined, yes, you can probably just see me alone on your screen, but I have a whole lot of people here with me in the studios there. Without them, all of this wouldn't be possible. So thank you to the team for the amazing work you're doing in the background. So let's look at the major currencies now. Bitcoin and Ethereum are on the rise, either leading, and Ethereum rather, leading with 2.02% gain. Bitcoin follows with a 2.1% increase gain, basically. So now there's something, most persons tend to wonder a lot about cryptocurrency. Whenever Bitcoin is declining, every other coin, beneath Bitcoin tends to suffer. So a lot of questions has been asked. What's actually happening with Bitcoin, and why is it whenever it drops down, every other currencies follows through? Yes, Bitcoin has been in existence since 2003. Yes, that is a fresh update for you. Bitcoin has been in existence since the early 2000s, so that's one of the major currencies, and then it has been rebounding against the naira, against both naira and dollar, and then now one Bitcoin is being sold for $55,800 for one Bitcoin. It declined as of yesterday to 52,000. So to show you the strength and then the algorithm of Bitcoin, it was able to rebound so fast from 52,000 to 55,800 as at this morning. So that is how much power Bitcoin has. And then looking at other little coins like Dogecoin and other coins that are still hoping to be launched into the system, they all also rebounded and then got some momentum. Ethereum as well is also gaining with 2.0%, which was sold as of yesterday for $2,100, but now at this point it has also rebounded. And then the fact that Bitcoin is going higher, don't be confused with the fact that Ethereum is gaining at 2.02% and then Bitcoin is gaining at 2.01%. It's just 1% difference. So what's the difference now? Yes, Bitcoin is being sold for $55,000, which is actually on a very good high. And again, you'll be wondering, when Ethereum is making more gain why is Bitcoin more expensive? So Bitcoin has been in the same longer than Ethereum, and then Ethereum is just rebounding at this hour. So looking at the fact that Bitcoin is doing well also helps to, grant and then give Ethereum a bit of leverage as well to come up. So every other coin, Dogecoin, Shiba Coin, every other coin comes in this with the same momentum, and whenever Bitcoin tends to fall, then it affects all of this. So a whole lot of persons were seriously crying because they suffered a whole lot of losses yesterday. But today is another day. It's a business day. It's business point, and then a whole lot of persons are beginning to enjoy and smile because of the rebound and then the bullish sign in the crypto world. So that is how much that is going on currently now in the crypto world. So we're hoping to get you more information as a rebound. So let me break it down to you at this hour. Bitcoin, or basically known as BTC, update price. BTC is currently trading at $4.75, which is at 14.57% increase from the previous close price, which is 5.56. So this was from yesterday. So the 24-hour high, the highest price for Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, is $4.93. Then the 24-hour low, that is, if you're talking about the highs, we'll be talking about the lows as well. So you might be confused. When we talk about highs and lows now in crypto, we're making mention of the bullish sign and then the bearish sign, just in case you're confused and wondering what the bullish sign and the bearish sign means. Growing up, when we go to the zoos, bulls tend to attack from down all the way up. So that's why you see high, and then that's when we mention bullish sign. And then for the bear goes from the way up all the way down, then to just bring or crash the market. So now, when the market was crashing as at yesterday, the lowest price for BTC in the last 24 hours was $4.4. So at this point now, the market was actually crashing, but fast forward till this morning, the increment has actually happened from 4.4 to 4.93, which is the specific high. And then all of this now has skyrocketed and then made Bitcoin to get to the level of 55,000 plus as at this morning. So that's the update on Bitcoin, the highs and the lows that it suffered yesterday. Now let's move on to Ethereum, because we are measuring more on these two currencies because they are the well-known cryptocurrencies that is being revolving around the world of late. So let's talk about Ethereum for now. The price of Ethereum is currently at 2,500, which is a 12.22% decrease from the previous day's price. That's a 24-hour high. The latest price of Ethereum at the latest 24 hours wasn't so available, but it was around 11.2%, which has actually rebounded. And now, as of yesterday, Ethereum was being sold at $2,100, and now it has moved and then gained momentum, and now it's being sold as of this morning. We are at $2,500. So all of these things now are rebounding, and that is it. So looking at the market capitalization, the market capitalization of Ethereum is around 290.72 billion, and then circulating supply, the current circulating supply of Ethereum is at 120,000 US dollars, so 120 million US dollars. So that is it on the crypto space. So we would be going on another quick break, and then when we come back, we'll be going into Europe as we see how UK construction growth picks up to 26 months high, and as well as we'll be looking at the current inflation rates in Taiwan, as well as we'll be looking at the also construction system in France. So we'll be bringing you all this information on today's edition of Business Point. So you don't go anywhere. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
every government and introduction of new policies, businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okeri tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point. This is business.
I want to enjoy you to join DSTV channels 365 Global TV for smooth, seamless programming, news, information, entertainment. Stay locked down. Enjoy the programming.
Everyone, for your news, entertainment, movies, and also not, tune into DSTV channel 365. You're not going to regret it. Global TV, there you go.
Everyone, for your news and your entertainment, tune into Global TV channel 365 on DSTV. You won't regret it.
Everyone, for your news and entertainment, you can tune into channel 365 on DSTV. You won't regret it.
For your news and entertainment, you can tune in to channel 365 Global TV on DSTV. We got you. You won't regret.
Do well to tune in to Global Television on channel 365 on DSTV.
Tune in to Global Television on channel 365. Stay tuned on DSTV.
Many thanks for staying with us. Yes, so join me now as I take you on a very quick flight to, get to the European scene where the air and global I jumped to in the month of above market expectation of 52.7 and up from June's 52.2, indicating a significant monthly expansion in the construction sector. The growth extended the current 5-month streak of expansion, with the rate of growth being quickest since all three categories of construction experienced increase actively in July, with housing projects showing a return of growth. Commercial activities also saw a solid increase, but civil engineering saw the fastest expansion in almost 2.5 years. Both activities and new orders rose rapidly during the month. The highest purchasing activity, staffing levels for the third consecutive month, highly demanded for inputs led to supply chain pressure and faster increase in input out costs. So, looking at the angle of construction now, not just internationally, real estate and every other construction companies has been on the rise, looking at how it has contributed to the GDP of Nigeria. So not just happening back home here, it's also happening everywhere in the world. So the world is evolving and getting into construction, because that's one of the key factors or key areas that helps a country's GDP. So that is it. We've seen a significant increase in the UK construction industry. So let's move over as we still start. And then now we are moving to where Olympics is happening, where they are leg head behind European peer. The CAC 40 fell, which is at 0.4% at 7,119, as at this morning, making it fourth consecutive section of losses and struggling to establish a clear direction. Giant leg the decline perform in its European peer, issues with Laman LVMH's second largest fashion brand, Dior, which struggled with supply chain, disclosed an outdated statement about the third-party certificates that has been terminated over a year ago. Shares of Louis Vuitton, Hermès, and Kering fell around 0.7%, 0.6%, and 1.5% respectively. The downturn was further exacerbated by a decline in other major sectors. So with shares of Safari, Pario, Richard, Langen, and Muchen and Teleperformance dropping between 1% and 1.6%, while recession fears the U.S. slightly all through investors remain cautious, closely monitoring economic data to assess the global economic outlook. At home, economic outlook at French construction PMI plugged to 39.7 in the month of July 2024 from 41 in the previous month, making the speediest decline since January. So back and forth, bullish sign, bearish sign, all of those things happening globally. So this is a result of the current rating and then the decline that the European and then the French side suffered in terms of areas of fashion and hospitality, and also a little bit of construction also suffered a bit of decline, and this is the worst that they've faced since January. So all of these declines now is actually having its own negative aspect in those industries. So hoping to see as this month, unfolds, we tend to hope to see a rebound for those sectors around the world. Now, there's another angle. Now we're moving to Bulgaria. Yes, rental sales in Bulgaria rose by 4.3% year-on-year in June 2024, accelerating from a 1.6% raise with previous month sale increase for food, beverages, and tobacco, which is at 9.7%. In May it was 9.4%, and then a non-food products is at 5.7% versus 1%. Additional sales decline at a softer pace for automotive fuel in specialized stores, which is at minus 11.1% versus minus 13.5%. On an occasional adjustment, monthly buyers rental trade advanced 1.4%, rebounding from a downward reverse, which is 0.4% fall and periodical preceding period. So there has been a raise, in terms of livelihood. Obviously, people can't do without food. So at this point now, Bulgarians have actually spiked up their day-to-day living abilities, and then purchases has actually gone up. So rental sales has actually spiked up in those areas. So while we're running out of time, but let me take you quick as we quickly glance through the current inflation rates in Taiwan. As in the last 5 months, Taiwan inflation rate raised in the last 5 months has gone to an high. The annual inflation rate in Taiwan rose to 2.52% in the month of July 2024, up from 2.42% in the previous month, and was nearly in line with the market forecast of 2.50%. It marked the highest reading since February as prices accelerated for food, which is at 4.57% versus 4.14% in the month of June. Housing now went up to 2.31% versus 2.28%. Education and entertainment rose to 1.86% versus 1.7%, and miscellaneous rose to 2.10% versus 2.8%. Meanwhile, inflation moderated for clothing is at 0.0% versus 0.41%. Transportation and communication rose to 0.85% versus 0.91%, and health rose to 3.24% versus 3.78% on a seasonal adjustment. Monthly basis consumption price each higher by 0.9% after a 0.26% increase in preceding period. So all of these things now, the world, globally, the global economy is actually facing a downtime. It's either a decline or a bullish sign, but we've been experiencing lots of bearish sign in the global scene of the economy, and then not just locally but also in every other part of the country. This inflation rate is actually something that has been hitting different parts of the world high. So now let's move On to commodities. Top commodities losers are steel, rubber, silver, and copper. Now, all of these losers now are losing with a very significant amount, which is at minus 2.17%. Silver lost to gold to minus 1.14%, and copper lost as well to minus 0.64%. So, and then let's look at energy commodity. Oil falls by 1.25%. Top commodity losers are heat oil, which lost at minus 1.25%, and gasoline also lost at minus 1.24%. Gainers are led by the natural gas and EU Dutch TTF, which gained at 0.95%, and natural gas UK GBP also gained at 0.90%. Crude oil WTI gained as well with 0.21%, and Brent crude oil also gained at 0.1%. How much time will permit me to take on today's edition of the program. And we're hoping to get information before the see that more against the dollar. My name is Samuel Odi. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hello